What could you create if you had 30 minutes to plan and 4 hours to build? Our friends at Intuit are challenging 3 teams of 2 developers each to indulge their worst developer tendencies today. This is the 15th episode of Web Dev Challenge.
We gonna get this thing done today.
What do I need to prioritize? Styles or getting it working?
Styles.
Can we make our computers make us healthy?
Welcome to the Web Dev Challenge. So today, we're doing something that I'm so excited about. We are asking you all to give in to your worst developer urges and take a problem that's probably not that big of a problem and build software to solve it. To do that today, we are being sponsored by the wonderful people over at Intuit, who are not asking us to use Intuit's tools, but rather are trying to help us get in touch with a little bit about Intuit's culture. And to talk more about that, we're bringing up Damien Wright. Damien, thank you so much.
Thank you. So hello everybody, my name is Damien Wright. I am a Principal Talent Acquisitions Leader at Intuit. We're here today at the Web Dev Challenge to solve a couple of things. Think about who you are. Are you a problem solver? Do you like big, nasty problems and trying to overcome them and create solutions? Do you take ownership of the problem and think about it end to end? This is your opportunity. We're gonna have a blast today. We're gonna think about some things outside of the box. There's gonna be a little bit of banter, but the good thing about it is we're all gonna learn. Looking forward to it, and let's have a good one.
Everybody ready?
Yeah.
I'm definitely ready. You got 30 minutes to plan, and your time starts right now.
What can we automate?
Well, what are we bad at doing ourselves?
How can we think outside of the computer and think about solutions to problems that we have in real life that we can automate with software, right?
So you can throw whatever you want.
So are you doing just like, are we gonna do just like one page then?
That's what it is right now.
Because we will need a way to log into Blue Sky.
Yeah.
And then do the auth redirect.
All through the same thing. Yep, that makes sense.
So we're using SQL now. What does the schema look like? Because I'm very concerned right now. As am I.
So like, we need to utilize like the webcam. We need to make sure, we need to actually track people.
What would be, I mean, I could play around with Tensor to see how difficult it would be to actually have like the webcam like watching. We'd have to kind of like narrow it down to like 1 or 2 things.
We would have to choose, we can't just say like, get up and do 10 jumping jacks and, you know.
I mean, it depends how much time we'll see.
My name is Ben Pack.
Hi, my name is Seve.
Well, simply put, we are here to save lives. You know, I think one of the greatest issues affecting devs today is remembering to drink water. It's so easy to be caught up in the moment, you know, oh, I'm in a code hole, I'm in my like, you know, flow state, like I'm in a meeting, and just push the water bottle slowly further away. And so we're here to automate that process of kind of getting you to drink water or else.
Yeah. So we're starting off with TensorFlow. We're going to actually try to see what we can do about tracking the, like, are you holding a cup? Are you actually drinking water? Because we can very easily say, we did it. We just hit snooze. And then on the front end, Vite, ShadCDN, and Tailwind, we're going to kind of build that up with that as well. We want to see if we can actually do all the actual like machine learning, like building it out ourselves and then having it run all completely locally.
I love the idea of sort of playfully being adversarial. I really like the idea of turning your computer into a bully. And so those types of projects always make me smile, so I'm really excited to see it.
Okay, so the core features is
You need to be able to add.
so compile articles, right?
So that'll just be the user inputting URLs.
Yep, yeah, that's the input field. So compiling articles, opening and reading them, and then proving that you read it.
Proving that you read
which
it.
Is,
we need social proof, so that's posting to Blue Sky.
Right.
I'm Jacob Singer.
My name is Bryn. So we're planning on building an application that's basically going to help us compile a reading list, take all of the tabs that you have open on your phone or your computer that you haven't closed yet, haven't gone through, and the articles that you haven't gotten around to reading, and automate the reading process of it.
And then to prove that you read it to all your friends and family, we're going to connect it to @Proto and Blue Sky so you can post.
So that everybody knows I'm reading your article. It was very important to me, and here's what I loved about it. The tech stack is pretty simple. We're trying to go as vanilla as possible. So it's basically just right now HTML, CSS, JavaScript on the front end. I'm using 11t to compile that to have a little bit of a host. And then
we're going to be using Playwright to do some scraping to grab those quotes. I think probably the hardest part is just going to be the time limit. There's not a lot of time, and there's a lot to do.
It's a funny idea. I think we are all guilty of having 10 million tabs open, and we all want to impress our friends by showing them all the ways we keep up on the world. So having something that just lets me lie to everybody seems like a great way to spend some dev time.
I want to be the users because I read a lot of articles, but to speak frank, I just, cross diagonally. So I want to share something with my friends, to look smart, of course. And I believe that's the project for me.
Yeah, if you hit the analytics first with that first track, and then pass that to
Because
the
this is what we're doing on the back end. Like, this is like populating all the data that's sitting in the database. So wouldn't we have an agent that's just talking to our database?
Yeah.
Or like a...
Yeah, I guess this part is separate. The whole
that's separate.
population part, yeah, that's separate. So now it's just client to agent talks to the database, generates the listing, track listing, sends that back to the client.
My name is Ebrima Job.
I'm Lyn.
What we're building today is a optimistic. It's basically a generative DJ model. So we thought it'd be cool to see if it can like learn how to mix and like understand music and figure out how to take, a mix from one genre to another in some kind of cohesive way.
The world needs more vibes, so a vibe curator. That's what we're trying to do. We got Next.js, OpenAI, Python. We got some lane graph stuff. Yeah, I think it'll come across well. Will it do everything we want it to do? I don't know, but it'll be good.
I think it is ambitious. I think taking a swing at a generative model in a 4-hour time window is a big swing. I mean, if they pull this off, it is the sort of thing that is literally a business you could go sell.
It's kind of like go big or go home project. So the challenge is extremely high, but if they will make it, whoa, that would be awesome.
Yeah, at this point it would, so once the mix service is in there and it connects, we would just, the AI agent just talks to the mix. And this would go away.
It's basically telling it, hey, it's basically telling this everything to do, like, hey, load this song, transition it.
So I'll push this up to main,
Okay, yeah,
and then
push
I'll
that up.
keep going in
Well, I guess that's
my
a
branch.
good. So do we want to just do separate branches and then we can just kind of both push to main? Because I don't think we're going to be running into each other too much.
We are either. Should we just work off main? We can just both work
Yeah,
off main.
that's fine.
Okay.
I think.
I imagine we're going to do it on a much more compressed, for the purposes of demonstration, much more compressed than it would actually be in real life. So like every 10 seconds versus every 30 minutes.
I still look no much nicer.
Yeah,
Like
okay.
I got to turn off this brush.
Oh no!
right on time.
Right on time.
Right on time.
All right, y'all. That's planning. Pencils down. Everybody stop thinking about new ideas immediately. Everybody went for something that is hard. I think that the AT Proto project is going to fall short of OAuth. That's my guess. I think that the music project, I will eat my hat if they get a model trained on music by the time we are done today. And I think the TensorFlow one, I can think of a couple ways that they could make that work. I'm more confident in that one because I think that TensorFlow might be close enough with some of the existing models to be able to get what they're after. Now it's time to build. Everybody feeling good about getting into this?
Hell yeah.
Let's do it.
All right, your 4 hours to build these apps starts right now. Here we go.
Boom, boom. Oh, Lord have mercy.
And how does it understand if you drink the water?
So our solution is, I have a sticker in my backpack of a little cat potion that's a heart. And so what I'm doing is I found a guide on how to train models using your own images. And so I have to go and take 100 photos of different poses of it, which is why I have photos of it underneath the cup. And the idea is if the camera can see the bottom of the cup, it's because you're drinking.
Ah, okay, the bottom. Okay.
So we're tracking, and since this is unique enough that it's not going to easily detect something else, if it sees that, it will bring down the actual the levels and bring the punishment down as well.
Danceability.
Danceability.
Yeah, I don't know how real that is.
Do I
but
trust the code to tell me how danceable a song is?
We're gonna trust it today.
Data is dating. Okay,
Hey,
energy
yeah.
level, danceability, tempo stability. What does it mean, bro?
Tempo stability, man.
No, it doesn't
I'm
make
just kidding.
And you got it like going from a link and everything? Boom.
Not yet, I'm just hard coding it for now.
Okay, cool.
But we can just pass in a link as an argument and
Nice.
then call it with that. And
That's
that should
fantastic.
work, I think.
Dude, we're off to a great start.
Yeah. And since
Kill it.
Jason specifically said that he didn't think we were going to do OAuth, I'm going to
Now
do,
you're
I'm
like,
gonna
we
do
gotta
OAuth
do it.
just to prove him wrong.
Did you build that entire UI already?
Yeah, we've been vibe coding.
Damn, you've been cooking.
I'm not gonna lie. I know you hate that we're vibe coding right now.
That's
but
okay. That's okay. Just because I'm not gonna vibe code doesn't mean that you can't vibe code.
Yeah, I usually code line by line, but
Nice.
you know, we have 4 hours, so
Yeah.
I mean, it looks better on his computer.
What you got?
The same thing. Oh no, don't do that. Don't do that. Oh
No, I like it.
no.
What do I need to prioritize? Styles or getting it working?
Styles.
Styles. Definitely styles.
I mean, we're not like hardcore back-end devs. If we were, we'd be building a CLI tool.
This is all about CSS.
How's it going over here? How are you
All
feeling?
of these. You know, slight panic, but it's fine.
If you're not panicking this early on, like
Yeah, just a bit.
you're not shooting high enough.
Right.
So, what's going on, guys?
I've got most of the front end built so far. I'm doing a lot of styling at the moment, so I want to make sure that this looks nice for the user. I'm going to try and get like an image going on the bottom, set the vibe, set the tone. I'm going to use some CSS masking to get it to blend in with the background.
I've seen what you had like half an hour ago, and that looks much better. So the UI looks like fancy and
Thanks.
looks like the product that I would like to use already.
Thank you. We're getting there.
And what's on the backend team?
So I've set up Playwright to take the links and scrape those pages, grab some content. Right now we're grabbing page title, we're taking the first H1, and then we're taking all of the P tag on the page, and then from that content we're gonna grab a couple of random sentences, maybe do some keyword searching or something like that.
We've got like a playlist vibe curator set up so we can like enter a vibe and try to get some songs back in a playlist. We've got our music set up. We've got our DJ mode waiting and ready. Does it work all the way? No, definitely not. But you can search for tracks and you can play music. So progress. That's mostly what I've been working on, trying to get a DJ agent working with Lane Graph and O4 Mini just to like help search through our database and then like curate a specialized playlist based on like BPM and track genre, mood, all that stuff that we got from the Librosia library.
The part that was the unknown is actually done, I think. So, you know, I went and took a whole bunch of photos. I had to take about 100 or so photos to like show the marker on and off the screen, and then basically go and tag 100 or so of these photos by drawing a little box around each one, so that it knew that that's where the cup was, and then rendered it to this Python model that I found that just automatically turns it into the model that we would use for JavaScript. And if you do that, as you can see, it is currently tracking where it is and what percentage it thinks it's at. That was the unknown. That was the part I wasn't sure about, and now it's just kind of connecting it to the rest of the systems.
Can I rubber duck this math out to you? Okay, so at the 9th website, I need to start shifting it up by 100 pixels again too. I can't. Do I need to start a new index? Because I need after number 9.
After number 9.
I need to start back over at like 100 pixels, and then 200 pixels, and then 300 pixels, and then 400 pixels. So do I start a new index? Keep track of another variable after index number 9?
Are you
the math?
already aware of the viewport dimensions?
I can be. I'm not using them right now.
Because one way that you could do it is, like a way that I've done this is you keep track of direction.
Okay.
Like a left-right direction, up-down direction.
Yeah.
And then you keep track of your window size and the viewport size.
Yeah.
And then basically whenever your math hits a point where you've cleared the maximum,
The viewpoint, yeah.
you just switch the direction,
Set the
and then
direction.
it'll kind of go back. And so the trick then is getting the distance left and right to be a little bit different so that it bounces in patterns instead of
Right.
always hitting exactly the same thing.
Right.
But that's a little bit easier than trying to like have magic numbers with how many you create before it changes direction
Right.
and
That's
stuff.
a really good point.
But yeah, if you've already got access to that, or if it's easy to get access to that, that's probably going to give you less hassle in the long run when you like load it on a different monitor or something.
Yeah, you're totally right. Okay, good point. Thank you.
Is it bad that I don't know how it works and I built it?
That's vibe programming.
Is it still vibe coding if it's just all up in here in different areas?
It's a fever dream.
Grabbing it.
But it's working though.
It is. There.
Dang, is that gonna be a problem for our demo?
What is?
Playing licensed music on your channel?
Yep.
And failed.
I was honestly kind of expecting more panic at this stage. People are looking nervous, but they're not sweating. And for how ambitious these apps were, I was kind of expecting people to be like sweating bullets and cutting scope. But I don't know. We'll see. It looks like it's going pretty well here. How are we looking?
Not bad, not bad. We're making some progress. We got our vibe generated playlist set up in code, so we can give it a little request and have our DJ agent go through, make us a little playlist and curate a vibe. We haven't like put this up yet, but this is like the thinking process is going through like, okay, chill R&B, pull some tracks, try to curate the playlist, get the vibes right. But yeah, it's just going through, analyzing stuff, getting the energy, and this will give us some tracks.
So did you like build your own MCP for this?
No, this is just straight with the database. We tried to keep it as simple as possible so it actually would work. Okay, we got a playlist. Okay, yeah, so it generated this playlist for us, and that's what we got here on the front end. So we got auto mix in between, and it'll fade in between songs, just really, really quick transitions. And obviously we don't have the cues set, but the transitions aren't too bad.
Yeah.
Oh, that's honestly better than. That's good. That's
bad.
cool.
It's a cool,
All right.
it's a little callback.
I'm excited. I can't wait to walk through like how you built this in the demos. Nice work, yo. All right, Joe. How you feeling?
Great. Yeah, good. Really good. Really good. You can just end it here. There's nothing. We're good.
So talk to me. What's happening?
It's like the last mile. It's connecting everything that's going to be like, we got the TensorFlow is working perfectly. It's catching that. We have our punishments, but now it's like, okay, but we need to make them communicate. And that's the part that we're in right now.
I saw you do the TensorFlow stuff, so
Yeah.
you got that working.
That's what done, yeah.
And I've seen some of your punishment stuff, like demoing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So what are you feeling now as like the last bits?
Now it's the actual like, how long have you been not drinking, and tracking that to actually say, okay, now we're going to trigger the first punishment, and then we'll trigger the second.
And the degree at which each of the punishments is going to take effect based on how long you've taken since your last sip.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. How good are you feeling about? You got about 40 minutes to finish.
I think we got it.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah?
Yeah.
All right. Well, I'll leave you to it. Good luck. All right. How y'all? Well, hold on. Let me get into character here. We're doing team shoulders.
This is the tank tops?
Yeah.
Team tank tops.
Team tank tops. All right. So talk to me. How's it going?
Pretty good. I think we're in like finesse land. We're kind of polishing some things, making sure that it actually feels like a.
So you're like
clean.
functionality complete.
Almost, yeah.
Oh, congratulations.
We're like right on that cusp.
Nice. So finesse-wise, what's left for you?
So right now I've got things popping up in lots of random places. I want to get the positioning a little bit more fun, as well as just kind of cleaning up the UI a little bit, making the main website itself feel more like an application for the user.
Okay.
It sounded straight?
It's a DJ, yeah.
So basically, I'd be starting the next song from like, let's say this beat, and then matching the BPMs, which would be the next step. But it fake kind of worked though.
Yeah, this is good. Is this
pick it-
using the beat tracks? That's what your timing is on?
Let's try this one.
Yeah, that's fire.
I don't know how it sounds. Does it sound straight?
Yeah, it sounds good actually.
All right, okay, cool. We got something together.
That's fire.
$60 seconds.
Oh my God!
Might have to revert.
3,
2, 1. That's it, everyone. I like that. Yes, hands up. Give yourselves a hand. This is a good one.
Oh my God. Hey, you know what I need is water?
Yeah, let's go get some water.
If this looks like fun and you want to give it a try yourself, grab a friend or work alone and head over to codetv.dev to learn more about the hackathon that we've got going right now. We're here, we're done. Apps are working. Yeah, all right. I'm super excited to see them. Your challenge was to give in to your worst developer urges and build something that definitely didn't need to be built. So I'm excited to see how you all interpreted this prompt. So anybody itching to go first? Yeah, you two are closest. Get up here.
We're so glad you could join us here for our revolutionary idea. As a developer, it's so easy to just get lost in the sauce and be locked in for hours at end, and it leads to all of these side effects, bad posture, dehydration. Dehydration,
Biggest.
probably one of the world's biggest killers. But we're here to fix that with our app. We're really proud of it. It is called
Healthy or Else.
Healthy or Else. That's right, I knew it.
We have timers set on our phones to drink, and we have expectations of like, oh, we're gonna keep track. Oh, we're absolutely. Timer, okay. So we're gonna absolutely remember to do that. But what if we actually had something that was telling us to do it for us? And if we don't listen, it gets harder to do our job. As we're developers, Chrome is always open because that's where we work.
So you're coding away, you're ignoring everything, your body. And suddenly, it's about time to get your sips in. You might notice a change.
A very subtle change that every third word on the website across the entire site is now water. If you don't notice that, it's very subtle. Oh,
I think your water timer's going off. Isn't it so annoying having to set all of these timers?
So now, if you wait too long, a nice little motivation and another reminder is the color blue, and it starts to slowly fade the blue in. Nice blue tint, kind of blur it a little bit, so it's a little bit harder to actually tell, what you're working on. And then eventually, if you got down to the third level, we really need to make sure you're not able to get any work done. So we just basically start spinning every single word on the site, so it just becomes this, good luck. So as you can see right now, the heart is down to 1, which means that you're at level 1. If the cup at the bottom, if the camera can see the bottom of your cup, it will actually track the drinking. There you go. But it actually tracks that it's drinking and removes all the effects on the page that you're actually currently working on until you actually go back down to that next level where it will actually start to bring it down after a couple of minutes of not drinking. It is surprisingly easy to get TensorFlow working with JavaScript. It is a package that you install, you bring it in, and whether you're using an existing one like Cocoa 2D, which has so many other things in there tracked, or your own, you're just basically bringing in the model. For our own, it's just a JSON file with a bunch of kind of image archives that they create to compare the images to. And honestly, what I thought was going to be the part that was going to be the hardest ended up being the part that I got done within 20 minutes. And then all the wiring of all the other things together, that was the part that was the tricky part of it.
I mean, the UI and everything was pretty straightforward. It's really just as simple as a couple React components. The timer is just a little progress bar. It's animating, filling up, and then, yeah, it all, we built a skeleton out super fast, but like Seve was saying, it's really about just connecting everything, making sure the timer is responding to the threat level, it's working with the extension, the video, it's getting the signals, it's sending all the right signals. That was the tricky part, and I think we got it done with literally 30 seconds left on the clock.
Yeah, absolutely.
Us each working in our own silo really was helpful because we didn't have any merge conflicts or anything until the end.
Yeah.
I'm a music lover, he's a music lover. I'm also a DJ, and I thought it would be cool for us to like create a way for this platform to like automatically mix, curate based off of like certain prompts, certain vibes, whatever energy you're feeling. Obviously, we didn't have enough time to like build it out in a way that would be like super like, vibey, but we could definitely give a small demo. And yeah, Lyn, talk about what you built out.
I mean, there's still plenty of vibes here, don't downplay the vibes now. But we wanted something that was super easy to like get some energy going or get whatever mood you're going with like instantly versus like, you could get a playlist, sure, you could subscribe to Spotify or Apple Music and get a cool fancy playlist made, but it's gonna be the same playlist like all the time, We wanted like vibes that were a little more immaculate. Let's go with some chill R&B.
Yeah. But yeah, the whole like idea around it was imagine if you can just be your own DJ at home, right? I don't need to go hire someone. I could just go ahead and just have a DJ just automatically mix, and I could tell it what to do because sometimes DJs don't take requests, but you can tell this DJ what to do and it'll just get to work, so.
Always takes requests. So our little AI DJ is thinking, it's going through our track list. We have like a lot of technology that we use to analyze the tracks that Breams has provided. We store those in a database, and our agent basically goes through and tries to create the vibes that you want based on what you've given it. It takes a little while to process because the vibes have to be immaculate, but when they come back, they are pretty good.
So there's like an audio library in Python called Librosa, and it's able to like analyze music, audio in general, find the tempos, find the music keys, and it has like some different calculations to like get some other stuff that we're able to like kind of match like energy level and things like that. So we have like 1,100 songs, and it's able to kind of like find the songs. Chill R&B vibes. Got some Coltrane. Got some Bill DeVoe. Got some Shy TLC. So it's able to make it make sense, right? This is an Afrobeat song. I want to kind of show you guys how it blends. I'll just go to the middle. Next song is this song. I'll play mix now. And so basically we have a Python server that's able to scan music, classify music, throw it into our database, and also the LLM and all the AI stuff is also powered through our Python server.
The, I guess, secret sauce in it is the DJ agent, which for this we're using GPT 4.1. And we're connecting that to our database, which has all of the metadata about tracks, like their BPM, their energy, and all that stuff. For this like very simple version, it's just analyzing and trying to formulate like a smooth playlist that matches the vibes.
So you have a lane graph workflow as well. So I guess the LLM is helpful because if we didn't use an LLM, it would just be reading just our database, but because it has context of like who these artists are, what kind of music they make, it's like using the LLM along with our database to like fetch the right song. We also have Next.js on the front end. These are the things we're collecting: mood analytics, and energy, danceability,
And luckily for us, like we're taking advantage of tools like Librosia and Essentia. These are like music analyzing libraries, so we didn't have to like come up with our own stuff and try to like break down and map things. Just throw some songs into some libraries and get some data.
Pretty cool stuff.
This is very cool.
Thank you.
Great work.
We had like a loose idea and some stuff built out when we started, but to push it to where it was, like that went well.
So the challenge that we decided to go with was, as developers, we're very busy. We have very full lives. I, for one, have 65 browser tabs open on my phone right at this moment, mostly from friends and people that I admire very much. And I swear I'm going to get to reading them eventually.
When you learn how.
When I learn how. And so we've created eLiterate. So I've got a huge reading list. It's got about 40 links in it right now. I'm going to paste them all into this input field and submit the links. You can see we've got, my reading list is just way too long. And we're gonna close all those tabs and help me clean up my life and get through my reading.
How do you have so much RAM?
So as you can see, we're really speeding through those. We're scrolling down to the bottom of the page. Look at that, they're all done. I just read 40 different articles so fast, in the blink of an eye. And as Jacob mentioned, there's proof, right?
We're gonna go over to our Blue Sky account, and you can see that our app has posted links to every article that we read, as well as chosen some very choice quotes out of them to prove that we definitely read them, totally comprehended them.
As you can see, things like enter the science number in the dial pad below. I know exactly what that article is about now, don't you? One of the things that we really wanted to focus on with this application is the internet used to be so fun. Like, it was this place where you could just go and find these random websites that people had created simply for the sake of doing so, because it's ridiculous. And we thought, how fun to build another spot as well, where it's like, I saved myself probably 20 minutes. I spent 4 hours building something that saved me 20 minutes. The core of it is really simplistic. We wanted to go as vanilla and as straightforward as possible. It doesn't take a lot of code to do this. So it's all vanilla HTML, vanilla CSS, and 11t is just kind of powering the build. So here's our index HTML. It's literally just vanilla HTML. We're manipulating the form. So as soon as the form submits, we take all of those links that we submitted, turn it into a giant array, display the array as list elements. And then once we do that submit, we're doing some data work with it.
Yeah, so then we move into our server set up with Hono.js. So we've got a couple of super simple routes here where we post the links to and write it to our database, which is just a JSON file, because why not? So we use Playwright to open up all of these links, grab some relevant content, in this case, things like the page title, the H1 tags, and then we take that and we connect to an app proto agent that we're logged into via their OAuth.
Oh, you got the OAuth running though?
Yep.
Oh, all right.
We are connected
I guess
with
that's
OAuth.
one hat I have to eat.
Yeah.
I think it was purely out of spite. It was just, and then it's kind of fun too. So the open and close feature is also just like 4 lines of code basically. So you can use literally window.open, open it as a pop-up, set the height and width, and then set the left and right. And the left is right and right is happening also with this really proprietary algorithm, math.random times window height. Yeah, the goal that we had in mind, we accomplished. Posts were going onto Blue Sky.
We used OAuth even though Jason said we couldn't.
It's true, we did. We did. Technologies are out there and so much more bite-sized and manageable than you think. Like, neither of us had ever touched App Proto, and the fact that we were able to, accomplish something in a couple of hours was really cool.
Trying to get everything done in less than 4 hours was like challenging, but ultimately it was really fun.
Like, we had a really good time. We enjoyed like the other teams and the crew and just hanging out with everybody. Like, it's not like this is something you would do in a day job, It's not like you're gonna come into work and it's gonna be this type of vibe. So that was fun.
I think initially we got like so excited about having everything, like each individual piece working early on, that was like, oh yeah, this is a shoe-in, we got this. And it changed.
getting to be in this kind of collaborative coding environment again. It's been a while since I've taken anything on like this at this level, and it just got me excited to start working on my own stuff again.
The big surprise is that actually, I'm not participating in this challenge, but I feel so exhausted. I can't even think like how the participants feel right now, but that's what really exciting. And thanks, Jason, for inviting us. It was truly amazing.
I think, the curse of this show is that everybody thinks 4 hours, that's a lifetime. And so they shoot really, really high, but they all did a good job of recognizing early where the parts of their scope were that were going to expand out of control. And they found good ways to mitigate that, cut corners, reduce scope to get to a shippable place.
This challenge is actually not about the challenge itself. It's not about who's the best and who wins. It's just about, those talented developers who, after all those years working in IT, still have this spark in the eye. You know what I'm saying? Like this spark of enthusiasm that brought them together today just to code, just to fun, just to show us something. And that's what drives me crazy.
Love it. Love it. Couldn't have said it better myself. Cut it. If you're enjoying this and you want to see us make more, consider becoming a Code TV supporter. Head over to codetv.dev, and for as little as $5 a month, you can help us make more TV for developers. Is everybody ready?
Yeah.
All right. I'm not ready because I forgot my remote thing. Hold on 1 second. I put it down somewhere. This is not good.
God damn it.
Where did I put that little remote? That's an important thing.
Is this part of the challenge?
Yeah, first person to find the remote gets an extra 10 minutes.